Everyone, I am here in front of you to introduce to you the chapter 8, which is the working in a diverse environment. So, the hospitality and tourism industries are well represented by multicultural companies. Many companies hire people from a range of cultures. Staff also interacts with and serves people from a variety of nations and cultures. All of these people, whether workers or customers, must be treated with dignity and compassion. It's important to understand that just because these people aren't like you doesn't imply they're any better or worse. They are just the same. So, learning objectives. This lesson, you should be able to enumerate and discuss the things to remember in respecting physical differences as part of working in a diverse environment. Second is to determine ways on how to work in racial and ethnic differences. And lastly, discuss sexual and gender differences as part of working in a diverse environment. So, the first topic is working in a diverse environment. Bias has no place in the hospitality and tourism industry, which is renowned for its strong service focus. Bias is defined as a personal prejudice or point of view that causes you to make hasty judgment about people or circumstances rather than dealing with facts. So, first is respecting physical differences. People who have never interacted with someone who has a mental or physical disability may find the experience scary or nerve-wracking. They may be unsure what to say or how to avoid being looked at. These concerns are understandable, but it's essential to remember that people with disabilities deserve to be treated the same as everyone else. The most important element of interacting with someone with a disability is to see them for who they are rather than what limitation they have. It all boils down to a sense of disability awareness and decorum. Dealing with the manners impaired is one of the most difficulties that individuals with disabilities encounter. Many people feel uneasy around disabled people because they are uncertain how to react or act, or they may be uncertain how or whether to help. People who are physically different from the majority of us have the same rights as everyone else, because good etiquette requires that all people, regardless of their ability, be treated politely and without presumption or over familiarity. These recommendations should be seen as easy reminders of how to be kind and to those who are physically challenged. So the next is changing our attitude about individuals with disabilities is a great place to start when it comes to treating them with dignity.
Okay, let's proceed in changing our attitudes about individuals with disabilities is a great place to start when it comes to treating them with dignity. Number one, never assume that someone who has a physical handicap also has a mental disability. When dealing with them, it's critical not to underestimate their abilities. Number two, do not help someone who is physically disabled without first assisting yourself. People with disability on the whole desire to be self-sufficient, constant hovering, and promoting to take care of everything. Even activities they began may be an unpleasant reminder that they're regarded as incapable of caring after their own needs. Number 3. Avoid touching a person's assistive equipment, such as a wheelchair, crosses, cane, or seeing eye dog. All of these items constitute a person's personal space. Do you want someone to seize your arm or leg without your consent? Staring and averting their gaze may cause damage to a differently able person. Number 4. Interact with the individual in the same manner you would with a non-disabled person. If a person has an escort or assistance, do not spend all of your time with them. Okay, number 5. Make every attempt to communicate with the one who is different from you. Kneeling down to make eye contact and talk with a wheelchair user. Introducing oneself a blind person and speaking sufficiently for him or her to know your voice and location are all instances of this. Number 6. Never shout or talk loudly while conversing with someone who has a hearing loss. Shouting distorts reality, may be unpleasant, and makes you seem stupid. Don't oversimplify your message. You're speaking with an adult, not a child. Number 7, never touch or move anything in a person, workplace, or room who has a visual impairment. If you're asked to help someone, offer your elbow rather than your hand or arm. Number 8, never put your hand on a person's wheelchair, nor should your feet or all or call a guide animal. These mistakes may endanger not just the animal it's handled, but also you. Number 9, be patient while dealing with those who have a speech issue. You should not fill in the gaps for them. Don't act don't act as if you understand what they're saying if you don't. And last, number 10, respect parking spots designated for those who are slower than you. And don't put your personal impatience ahead of the other people's genuine needs. Okay, letter B, racial and ethnic differences. The cultural diversity of the global economy creates a great deal of uncertainty in how to behave. People of different ethnic and racial backgrounds don't always know how to interact with one another. People are uncertain whether or if they should alter their behavior. Their opinions and attitudes of these topics are more important than your race or ethnicity. Don't generalize or stereotype someone based on their physical or cultural traits. Respect for others, the most fundamental rule of ethics, prohibits such behavior. Racial and ethnic differences. However, differences do exist, and you must learn to embrace them. You must also grasp the ethics of various situations and how to adjust your vocal and non-verbal behavior appropriately. Over time, a common code has emerged that enables employees to collaborate and know what to expect from one another in the workplace. If you don't speak or behave in accordance with these standards, you are putting yourself up for criticism, for better or worse. Plus, however, if you do not recognize and respect individuals who adhere to various traditions, you may find yourself in hot water. Learning several languages is also advantageous for almost everyone in the professional field. Even learning in a few words and phrases may help. Some sectors, such as the music industry, benefits from slang and jargons. In almost all other situations, though speaking and writing effectively are critical. Respect necessitates that you educate yourself about different cultures. If your business regularly take you to other parts of the world, take course in protocol or read about those parts of the world. That's all. Thank you.
And gender differences. Everyone has the right, equality, and freedom from discrimination regardless of sexual orientation, gender, identify of sex characteristic, whether lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex. LGBT people suffer varying levels of violence, harassment, and discrimination across the Asia Pacific region. Torture, rape, arbitrary detention, affairs, trials in the case of women. Force of pregnancy and marriage are all instances they face marginalization and discrimination of terms of job, education, and health. In housing service, gender White people may also encounter difficulties in obtaining legal acknowledgement in their sex official papers and government code. Sexual and gender differences. Homophobic and transphobic bullying happens when people behave or speak in a way that makes someone feels harassed because of their actual per- perceived sexuality. People may be billed because their appearance, conduct, or their other physical characteristic, or because they have gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender friends or family member, or simply because they are seen a different name calling Propagating lies in physical or sexual assault and emotional abuse are example of homophobic bullying.